Well, spring is here, and you may be wondering about getting a new mortgage, or maybe it's time to renew. We're joined now by mortgage expert Angela Calla with what you need to know about spring mortgages. I didn't even know this was a thing. Welcome.
Yes, the spring market has heated up, and fortunately we've seen some interest rate wars, so buyers are getting some opportunities to get some deals in the market. And also, if you're renewing a mortgage, you're in luck.
Okay, so tell us more about that. So yeah, people, springtime is coming. Summer's not that far away, so they might even be thinking ahead a little bit. Should they be prepping if they need to renew or even need to get a mortgage at all?
Yes, a pre-approval is key, but understanding exactly what a pre-approval is the most important component. A pre-approval is actually a full review of all the documentation required for that specific stage. And when you review all the documentation that's required, there's some documentation that you're going to need in the beginning of the process and some documentation as you're going through with your accepted offer. And because it is a document-heavy process, that will also help you with clarity on your path as to which lender is going to have the best options for your unique journey.
Okay, so we know how the market is doing. It's a little bit stressed, but on the mortgage side of things, how are things looking?
Things are looking great in terms of options for consumers, and really what is their individual circumstance will put them in the direction of where they're going. It's so incredibly difficult as a consumer when you're looking online and trying to determine what rate, what product, what lender is good for me. And that's where the customization in the pre-approval is so essential, because we do a full review of the credit report. So if there's something that can be better utilized to be positioned to be with a better lender, and we look at all the documentation in respect to your income. So if there's something that we can do to position you or something that should be taken care of in advance, then you can get positioned to hopefully go, if you qualify, with a monoline lender, which will provide you with the most amount of flexibility should you want to make a modification to your mortgage down the road. And where the difficulty can lie if you're trying to research mortgages on your own is when you're reading terms in a contract, you would think, oh, well, I just want to go for the lowest rate. But what you don't know, it's what the lenders aren't telling you that costs you the most amount of money. Because you can be looking at two lenders and think, oh, well, to break this mortgage, it's 3 months interest or the interest rate differential. But what they don't tell you is that they have posted rates, and those posted rates are being used against you while they were used as a marketing tool to try to draw you in for the business. So for the same $300,000 mortgage, if you're with a major bank, that could be a $15,000 penalty mid-term if you need to make a move.
Wow.
Or want to take advantage of the interest rate decrease. Yeah. And in addition to that, with a monoline lender, that can be reduced to as little as $3,000. So there's a significant difference when you're comparing these items, but it's always what you don't know that costs you money. And that's why having that clarity and understanding what directions you can go on based on review of all the documentation is so critical initially, whether you're getting a pre-approval to buy a home or whether you're renewing your mortgage. Those components are really critical.
No kidding.
Right?
That's why we need an expert like yourself to come in and explain. Now, there's 3 types of mortgage myths. Can you break those down? What are they?
Yes, the mortgage myth, the pre-approval myth. As you know, when we start the process, we review some documentation, but there's still the property component. And every lender has different criteria. They're modifying on a weekly basis, just like the federal government comes and makes changes to the mortgage market. And so where you begin your journey might not be where you end up. And so not only is that critical in the pre-approval process, but also when your mortgage is up for renewal. The lender that had your business initially might not be the most advantageous for you. Secondly, again, there's such a range in mortgage rate offerings, and it depends on if the mortgage is insured, uninsured, what type of property, the property zoning, if they have a depreciation report, if it's self-managed. The list goes on and on. There's about 30 different components. So again, once you add the property element, you can see why you'd want to have the pre-approval element all completed, because there's so many documents that come along with purchasing a home and all your due diligence in that respect as well. Okay. And then the no subject offer. Now, fortunately, we're in a different market today where it's actually more common to see a subject to sale rather than a no subject offer. And with that in mind, you might have to modify your lender based on bridge financing, etc. But we're here to guide you through every step of the way.
That's awesome. Thank you for all this information.
We have welcome.
A lot of homework
to do.
We have a lot to talk about.
We
do. Thank you so much, Angela Calla, our
Always
mortgage
a pleasure.
expert.